It's an honor to be here. It's a real privilege to see all these young people who are just absolutely amazing. We spent about an hour with them upstairs, and it was just really great. A lot of you know, because you just heard in my bio, that we have 3 beautiful children and now a daughter-in-law. But what you may not know is that we struggled with infertility for 6 years. And we didn't think we would ever be able to have a child of our own. So we put ourselves on an adoption list. We got called from the adoption agency that we were one of the couples a young girl who was in an unplanned pregnancy was considering. When we got the call, I happened to be pregnant with Michael, and so we took our name off of that list and felt like we would trust God with the pregnancy that we had. And it turned out great. We have 3 great kids. But part of the life issue is the side of compassion. And in introducing my husband today, you need to understand that as a governor, he was one of the most pro-adoption governors. So there are 2, yes. So we need to be a movement of compassion. But we've been very involved in pro-life issues before we ever came to Capitol Hill. Before we came to Capitol Hill, we were supporting crisis pregnancy centers and speaking for life. And it's an issue near and dear to our hearts. It's so near and dear to our hearts that when we decided to run for Congress a 3rd time, years after we had lost 2 initial races, our children were 6, 7, and 8. And in explaining to them why we were going to uproot our family and run for Congress, and if we won, move to Washington, D.C., we showed them the cover of the Life magazine that showed the baby in the womb. And we said, this is why we're going to Washington, because we want to pass laws that save the babies. And so that's who the Vice President is. That's who he's been for a very, very long time. And I know he's the one you want to hear from. So Vice President Mike Pence.
Well, thank you, Karen. Thank you for your wonderful words, for your example, for your devotion for life. Would you give the Second Lady of the United States another vigorous round of applause? And let me say, it is a great honor for me, on behalf of the 45th President of the United States of America, the most pro-life president in American history, President Donald Trump, to say welcome to the White House. I know the President is very much looking forward to a Rose Garden event to help participate in the March for Life tomorrow. And we're going to be with you all. Just a little bit off the mall, but we'll be with you in spirit. And hope many of you that have come to the White House today will be able to join us at the White House tomorrow. But thank you for coming tonight. We wanted to extend the hospitality of the First Family and really extend a thanks to all of you who've been so instrumental in this extraordinary annual event. There's so many people to thank, but when I think of the 45th March for Life, I think of those that have gone before, like the late and great Nellie Gray. And her worthy successor, the president of the March for Life, our friend Jeannie Mancini. Thank you, Jeannie. Where are you? Karen and I were talking with Jeannie just a few minutes ago, and We told her that as impressed as we are with her leadership, frankly, we were more impressed to have the opportunity to meet with some extraordinary young women and men who are part of Students for Life. Their president, Kristen Hawkins, is with us today. And I just want to ask, would these Students for Life just come up here and join us on the stage for my... Let's hear it for these great young leaders for life. Come on up. You come right next to me. You can go around that side. Aren't they something? These are leaders of Students for Life organizations and from college campuses and high schools all across the country who are extending hearts and hands of compassion to young women in crisis pregnancy, and they're telling the truth about the cause of life in their generation. And I truly believe with all of my heart, this is the pro-life generation in America. Tonight I'm here on behalf of President Trump and our entire administration just simply to say thank you. Thank you for a year of extraordinary progress. You know, it will be 1 year ago this Saturday night that we swore in the most pro-life president in American history, and in one short year, President Donald Trump has made a difference for life. You made that happen. Your efforts over the years, over the decades, standing tirelessly for the sanctity of life, has brought this day about, this year about, a year of extraordinary accomplishment. In one of his very first acts, our president reinstated the Mexico City policy. He expanded it to cover $9 billion in foreign aid so that no taxpayer dollars will fund organizations that promote abortion around the world. We stopped U.S. funding for the United Nations Population Fund so that American taxpayer dollars won't support abortion in countries like China. We've reversed the last administration's policy, and I was honored to be the tie-breaking vote to allow states across the country to defund Planned Parenthood. And tomorrow, President Trump will be the first president in American history to address the March for Life. It's been an incredible journey for us. Karen and I haven't been on it alone. We've stood shoulder to shoulder with this great president, and I want to tell you, as evidence of the strength of this cause from the Oval Office on down, we've got some very prominent members of this administration who are with us here tonight just because they heard you all would be here. Andrew Bremberg is the head of policy and planning at the White House, is with us today. And I know you've heard of that great pro-life champion, Kellyanne Conway. These are special people, appointed by a president who believes in the sanctity of life. He's built a team around him that's made the incredible progress that we've made. But we're just getting started. My friends, I truly believe in my heart that life is winning in America because of all of you. We're winning hearts and minds each and every day. Life is winning through the generosity of adoptive families, as Karen said, all over America are opening their hearts and homes to children in need. And life is winning because of the compassion of caregivers and volunteers at crisis pregnancy centers who come alongside young women and with unplanned pregnancies, to provide them with care and support and encouragement and faith. And life is winning, I truly believe, because of the quiet counsels between mothers and daughters, between grandmothers and granddaughters. Life is winning as well because of all of you, because of your faithfulness and your prayers. You've been speaking the truth to the American people now for decades. And you can see in this rising generation, the truth is catching on. And I truly believe in this generation, we will restore the sanctity of life to the center of American law once again. So thank you for coming. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for coming again as tens of thousands gather in our nation's capital to stand for those who can't stand for themselves. You know, I've long believed that a society can be judged by how it deals with its most vulnerable, the aged, the infirm, the disabled, and the unborn. Your compassion, your perseverance has made a difference for the most vulnerable in our society. And because of all of you, I truly believe the day will come, because of your efforts and prayers, with pro-life majorities in our Congress, with President Donald Trump in the White House. I know America will choose life once again. Thank you all very much. Thank you for your stand for life, and God bless you all. Great job. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, come on. Everybody crowd in, crowd in.